When we talk crypto hierarchy, everyone knows the name at the very top, but just below that number one spot, well, that's where things get really interesting, a real battleground. Today, we're looking at this long-running competition between two other huge digital assets. Both have been fighting for that number two position by market cap for years. It's quite a story full of twists, turns, surges, dips. We want to unpack how it's all played out.
It really is a fascinating dynamic. Because while number one has stayed pretty consistent, the race for number two tells you so much about the market itself. Its volatility, innovation, external factors. We've seen these two trade places, one dominate for a bit, then the other comes back. So yeah, let's trace that journey and look at the key moments that shaped this rivalry.
Okay, sounds good. So before we dive into these two specifically, maybe set the scene a little earlier. Before, say, late 2014, who actually held that second spot? Was there another contender?
There was, yeah. For a time, Litecoin was sitting there at number two as one of the early altcoins, gained quite a bit of traction back then.
Litecoin, right. Interesting bit of history. Okay, so let's bring in our main players. October 2014, a shift happens. One of the two we're focused on takes over from Litecoin. Which one was that?
That was XRP. The asset associated with Ripple. That was really its first major push into those top ranks, signal its growing presence.
Got it. So XRP makes the first move into number two. But that didn't last forever, did it?
No, not at all. The crypto space moves fast. The next big change came in February 2016. That's when Ethereum first overtook XRP for the number two spot.
Okay, February 2016, do we know, the market caps around then?
We do, roughly. Ethereum surged to about $358.3 million, while XRP was sitting around $276 million at that point. It really highlighted the buzz building around Ethereum, especially with its smart contract tech.
Right, the programmability aspect. So Ethereum takes the lead. Did it manage to hold on to it?
It did, yeah. It actually gathered quite a bit of momentum. Ethereum held that number two position all through 2016. By the end of that year, its valuation was over $600 million. XRP, meanwhile, was closer to $200 million. So a pretty significant gap opened up.
Wow, okay, so it looked like Ethereum was really cementing itself there. But, well, crypto markets being crypto markets, things changed again, didn't they? Late 2017.
Dramatically. Late 2017 saw this incredible bull run, and XRP's price just exploded upwards. It surged so much it actually flipped Ethereum and reclaimed the second spot.
Really? After that gap in 2016, what were the numbers like at the end of 2017?
Get this. By the end of 2017, XRP's market cap was a massive $89.12 billion. Ethereum was also way up, of course, at $73.17 billion. But XRP had overtaken it. Just a period of intense, almost euphoric buying for XRP.
89 billion. That's huge. But often those kinds of parabolic moves face a pullback, right? A correction.
Exactly. And that's what happened next. As the market corrected, XRP's price fell significantly. And this allowed Ethereum to slide back into the number two position. Then 2018 became this real seesaw year.
A seesaw, meaning they kept trading places.
Constantly. Back and forth, back and forth. One month it was ETH, the next it might be XRP.
Yeah.
It was a genuine fight for that second spot throughout the entire year.
So after all that volatility in 2018, who actually finished the year ahead? In second place?
Believe it or not, despite the correction, XRP managed to end 2018 just slightly ahead. Its market cap was around $15.07 billion. Ethereum was right on its heels at $14.56 billion. So really, really close.
Wow, neck and neck then. Okay, so this rivalry is clearly intense. What happened as we moved into 2019 and 2020? Did that close competition continue?
It did continue, but the dynamic sort of shifted a bit. During 2019 and 2020, Ethereum generally had the upper hand. It spent more time and more consistently in that number two slot. Its ecosystem was growing, DeFi was starting to take off. That seemed to help.
Okay, so ETH holding stronger. But then something pretty significant happened towards the end of 2020, specifically impacting XRP.
Yes, December 2020. That was a key moment. The announcement of the legal action by the SEC against Ripple, that had a major immediate negative impact on XRP's price and its market cap.
How big of an impact are we talking?
It was substantial. XRP didn't just lose the number 2 or 3 spot, it fell considerably further down the rankings. By February 2021, it had dropped as low as 7th place. Really shows you how non-market factors like legal issues can shake things up.
7th place. Okay, that's a significant fall. And did it struggle to recover from that? How did things look in, say, 2023, 2024?
Yeah, it faced some real headwinds trying to climb back up. Through much of 2023 and into 2024, reclaiming even a top 5 spot was tough. Just to give you a snapshot, As recently as October 2024, XRP was still in 7th. Its market cap was around $29.3 billion then. Compare that to Ethereum at the same time, which was over $300 billion, $301.7 billion, actually. Huge difference.
Okay, quite a gap. But the story doesn't end there, does it? Things shifted again more recently towards the end of 2024.
That's right. We saw another twist. Following the U.S. elections in November 2024, XRP showed surprising strength, a real recovery. By early December 2024, around the 8th, it had climbed back into the number 3 position. Its market cap reached almost $149 billion, $148.98 billion to be precise.
Back to third. That's quite a comeback. Still behind Ethereum.
Oh yeah, still significantly behind. Ethereum's cap at that point was around $482 billion. But it showed renewed momentum, renewed confidence in XRP.
Okay, so that brings us pretty much up to date. We're recording this in February 2025. What's the picture right now?
Well, what's interesting now in Feb 2025 is XRP seems to be showing maybe more resilience than some other assets during recent market choppiness. Its market cap is currently sitting around $138 billion. Ethereum's is about $307 billion. So while Ethereum is still clearly number 2, that gap of $169 billion, it's actually narrower than it has been in quite some time.
$138 billion versus $307 billion.
Right.
The gap's still big, but narrowing. So purely hypothetically, what would it actually take for XRP to flip Ethereum again? Is there like a price target?
Yeah, you can calculate that based on the current supplies and market caps. For XRP to overtake Ethereum today, its price would need to get to roughly $5.24. Now, it's currently trading around $2.36. So that's still a jump of about 122%.
122% increase. Okay, so still a significant climb needed.
It is. Definitely ambitious. But given the recent recovery and the narrowing gap, it doesn't seem quite as out of reach as it might have a year ago. There's a sense of renewed possibility there.
And I understand there's still a major factor looming, right? Something that could really influence this.
Absolutely. There's still considerable focus on the potential resolution of that legal case we mentioned. The general feeling, or maybe hope in some parts of the market, is that if XRP maintains its momentum, and especially if there's a positive outcome or clarity on the legal front, then it could absolutely mount another serious challenge for that number 2 position.
It's just been such a fascinating race to watch, hasn't it? This whole back and forth between these two for second place really tells a story about the crypto market itself.
It absolutely does. It perfectly illustrates how dynamic this space is, how quickly things can change, market sentiment, tech developments, regulatory news. It all feeds into these rankings. It shows you nothing is really set in stone, even for the biggest players below number 1.
Yeah, a constant state of flux. It really makes you think, doesn't it? As we look ahead, what other developments, what market shifts, maybe even what new contenders could emerge to shake up this hierarchy again? It's definitely a story that's far from over, something for all of us to keep watching.